We begin this evening with breaking news out of Ellen Road, as Leeds manager Aussie Villain has just announced his 23-man squad to travel to Japan for the FIFA Club World Cup. Now we should be able to see the team on the screen right now. And the goalkeepers are Andre Onana, Corey Toll, and Tom Williams-Askey. The defenders are Max Dean, Jamie Mahoney, Juan Miranda, Marin Pongranic, John Sutar, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Nathan Woods, and Arthur Zagre. The midfielders are Carlos Alina, Alfie McCalmont, Ilax Moriba, Calvin Phillips, and Gary Turpie. And the attackers are Ansu Fati, Erling Haaland, Rafael Leao, Renier, Abel Ruiz, Cenez Under, and Felix Valverde. So there's a few notable omissions there. Now I believe we can cross live to a press conference in Leeds where manager Aussie Villain is discussing these selections. Yeah, look, I mean, I'm sure that Jared Bowen and Bogac are going to be the headline grabbers for you guys. But, you know, I think Endao, David Baker, and also Noah Kene, they can consider themselves very unlucky not to be joining us. But, you know, ultimately, I can only pick so many players, can't I? Yeah. You've selected Onana, despite the player being away at the African Cup of Nations. Bloody FIFA, really? Why would there be an international tournament going on the same time as this? It's outrageous. Ugh. Well, let's hope Williams-Askey has a good tournament then, eh? Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain. Welcome to Season 6, Episode 16 of the First Star with Leeds United. Our bid to win the Champions League with the club for the first time, and we fell at the final hurdle last episode, of course, didn't we? But a good opportunity here to put that all to one side, go to Japan, and come back as world champions. We are playing the group stages of the FIFA Club World Cup today. We have Al-Ahly, I believe one of the best supported teams in the world. They say that popular in Africa, with the Egyptian champions, and Cruz Azul, the Mexicans. So 2 games I'd expect us to win, but we can't take them for granted. They are going to be decent teams. We are the favourites for the first game here, but a couple of things to catch you up on before we get started here. First up is 2 new contracts. If we go down here, Onana has signed a new deal. 150 grand a week for a goalkeeper. Seems like a lot of money, but he's been really good for us for the most part. So he's here for another 4 years. That'll take him to 33, and essentially that'll be the end of his time at Leeds United, I would imagine. So it may be at the point where if we can find a good sort of 16, 17-year-old sort of wonder-kid goalkeeper, maybe we look to snap them up now so that we can kind of phase them in as Onana gets phased out. So that's one. And the other contract that's been signed is Pongranic, 165 grand a week. He's on now for the next 4 years. That takes him to 31. And again, at that point, I think we'll be looking to move Pongranic on, maybe a little bit before, maybe the last year of his contract. We might even look to sell him on for some money. But we'll see how we're doing at that point in time. But there we go. They are the 2 new contracts. You've seen the squad that we've picked. Let's go and have a look here at what we're doing. We are the favourites of this one, as you would expect. We don't know too much about Al-Ahly. The Egyptian League isn't obviously even an option to load up in the game, unfortunately. So we're going to learn together here what we've got. This is the team that we're sending out. Now you can see this registered squad there. Now I don't know. I'm really annoyed that Onana's not available. So it means Williams-Askey goes in goal. We've had about 2 weeks since the about 20 days, about 3 weeks since the Champions League final in game. So match sharpness has dropped off just a little bit, and we're going with a slightly weaker team for this one as well, just to give everybody a game, basically. The main omissions for the squad were obviously, as you saw, Noah Kene was unlucky not to get picked. Bogac was unlucky, but ultimately he wants to leave and probably will be leaving this summer. Go on, Villa. I'll definitely sell to Villa. Bowen is the big one. We just have too many players in wide areas, and I picked basically Under over him on sort of season form. And Endao's unlucky as well. And Baker, the 2 youngsters. It's actually a big season, this one for Baker. We've got a decision to make this coming summer. He's 22 now, which means we would need to register him in the squad. I'm not sure if we would register him in the squad. It may come down to a choice between him and Bowen, and maybe one of them has to leave this summer. So any thoughts on that, let me know what you think in the comments. But this is it. Let's get to action here. We have Williams-Askey going in goal for this entire tournament, unless Cameroon get knocked out sensationally, probably in the group stages of the African Cup of Nations. So he's always been relatively solid when he's played for us. Let's hope that continues. It's Max Dean, it's Suter, and it's Wood as the back 3 for this one. Wan-Bissaka down the right, Sagre down the left. It's Turpie and McCalmont in midfield. Alina in the number 10 with Leao and Abel Ruiz up top. Let's go. If you're wondering who this Corey Toll is on the bench as well, he is he's one of the academy kids. basically I picked him over the guy who has been third choice, Evie, whatever his name is, because he's about the same level of ability now, but he's higher potential. So I think if someone's going to get a game, well, he's second choice now, but at the time I thought he's going to be third choice. I'd rather it be a young guy that is going to get better rather than somebody who just was ever brought in to be a number 3, basically. We can see here we're essentially matching up with formations. They're slightly more defensive in midfield. We were expecting that from them, which is why we've matched them up for this one. What do we want to say here? Jardem says go out there, do it for the fans. With a favourite to give the... Alright, let's do that. I mean, if there's fans in the stands, which there will be because English football fans are incredible like that, we want to make sure they come all the way to Japan to see some goals. And here we go. Looks a lot like Ellen Road, this stadium, doesn't it? Certainly a lot of Leeds fans. I would have thought there'd be more neutrals in the stadium, but that's okay. But the idea here is basically to try and give the entire squad, maybe not the goalkeeper, a run out in the 2 group games. And then we'll sort of go from there when we get to the quarterfinals and semi-finals, which hopefully will be next episode. Liao's done well there. Beats 1, beats 2. Liao, oh, how's he done that? Rafael Liao, an 18th goal of the season, a first goal of the FIFA Club World Cup for Leeds United. We're 1-0 up after 2 minutes, and that all looked a little bit easy, didn't it? Let's tell him to concentrate, but the perfect start. A decent ball in from Wan-Bissaka. Liao's there. Did he mean to do that? I don't know if he's back-heeled it or what's happened there, but to score from that tight angle is quite impressive. Goalkeeper needs to have a good hard look at himself. I think I could have saved that. Would have hit me. I wouldn't have meant to save it, but you just block off the near post. What's he going to do? Anyway, that's not our problem. Here we go again. Nathan Wood with a highlight. With a throw-in. He finds Abel Ruiz. Can Ruiz cross it for Liao? He goes back to Wan-Bissaka into the box for McAlmont. Oh, Alfie McAlmont. Second goal of the season for him. And 7 minutes in, it's 2-0 to Leeds. And this is a little bit easier than I was expecting, to be honest. I thought we'd beat them. I also thought they put up a little bit more of a fight than this. Egyptian football is usually quite good. Little bits that I've seen of it. But, we've picked them apart there again. McAlmont with quite a good finish, to be fair to him. And there we go. I should say in between games as well that we will be doing the nominations for Viewers Player of the Year. So make sure you don't miss that in between. And we've got another one. Liao's got a 19th of the season. That's all a little bit easy. It's 3-0 after 10 minutes. And I think we can put our chairs up, put our feet up, and, sit back and enjoy the rest of this one. Alina, decent corner in. Header by Ruiz. And Liao slides in to finish it off. Excellent stuff. So there'll be the nominations for the Viewers Player of the Year, and I'll put a little poll, there'll be an eye at the screen there, so you can click and vote for your favourite player for the end of season awards, whether that be after tomorrow's episode or the day after. It just depends how far we go in this tournament, doesn't it? Hopefully, I'd like to think, it essentially becomes the Champions League after the group stage, because there's a European team in each of the 8 groups, so you'd imagine maybe there'd be one that doesn't get through, but I'm thinking it's going to become like a mini Champions League, and at that point, luck of the draw, it depends who we get. I'd really like to play Atletico Madrid again, and try and get the best of them. A little bit of revenge. Liao there for Ruiz, and Ruiz gets a 14th of the season, his first of the tournament, and this could be a long one for the Egyptians. I wonder what the record score is in this tournament. We surely must be a chance of that. Liao in space, cuts back, crosses beautifully, Ruiz is there, goalkeeper's no chance, and it's 4-0. I should have checked what the record was before we... like I say, I didn't necessarily expect us to rip them to shreds like this. What do we say? We just got to keep praising them, really, don't we? It's a really, really good performance. I'm tempted to bring the goalkeeper on for the second half, to be honest, to give him a debut, but Williams-Aski didn't have any match sharpness, and let's be honest, it's not looking as though he's going to get too much match sharpness from this one. As I say that, they've got the ball. They may well throw caution to the wind now. Can we win that? We can. Liao's done really, really well, but no one's there to pick up the loose ball. Becoming a bit of a long, old, scrappy highlight. Something may be about to happen here, but time will tell. It was really disappointing, the Champions League. I know a lot of you guys in the comments were saying, it's just gutting. It just was. It was just something that was not meant to happen, unfortunately. Here we go with Zagreb down the wing. Good ball in. It's Wan-Bissaka. The goalkeeper's nowhere. It's 5-0. It's 5-0. We're barely 30 minutes in. We're online for about 15-0 here if this keeps up. It very rarely does, of course, but they look absolutely woeful. They cannot cope with us, and this is Bit of frustration, I think, maybe coming out in this game as we, just did not show up in the Champions League final. And if we'd showed, I mean, obviously better opposition in the final, but if we'd looked like this getting forward, then you just never know what could have happened. I think that was the worst thing about it, wasn't it? Is that we didn't show up, we didn't play well. We obviously nothing went our way, but ultimately we didn't play well. Alina with the ball to the back post. That's hit the post, I think. It's still there. It's going out for another corner. And can we get 6 before the 35th minute? That would be something. Here we go, another corner for Alina. Good ball in, Leal's there, straight into the hands of the waiting goalkeeper. I think that's the first time he's touched the ball. It wasn't picking out the back of the net. Basaka with another throw. McCalmont, back to Juan Basaka. Back to McCalmont, crosses it in. It's headed away. Alina is there. Back for McCalmont again. Alina, there's a good ball for Zagreb. Oh, Zagreb, bullet header. Second goal of the season for him. It is 6-0. And we're not even at half-time yet. We'll just keep praising them, and this could be a record score, not just for Leeds United, but also for the tournament, I would dare suggest. I don't know, I'm thinking there's probably, in group games, there's probably been a 7 or an 8 before. I'm trying to think. I remember Australia no, that's the Confederations Cup. I'm getting my FIFA tournaments mixed up. I don't remember too many hidings in this. I think, I don't know, I'm speculating. But here we go, before half-time. Can we get a 7th? No, Juan Basaka's lost control of it there. It's hacked clear. Leal wins it. The reason that Leal's so far back, he's man-marking the wing-backs. And then we should have Alina up there just as an out-ball. What that also means is that we have ready-made players in wide areas when we win the ball back. And we can still kind of get an overlap then with our wing-backs getting forward. So that's, if you're wondering why Leal is so far back there all the time. But there we go, that's perfectly what I mean. Leal, can he get a cross in? It's Ruiz! Oh, he can, and Ruiz gets another goal, a 15th of the season for him. A second goal of the match, a 7th goal for Leeds United. And, alright, can we get 8 before the break? What did I say? We're on track for 15-0. But still, if we can get an 8 before the break, we definitely are. Leal, good cross. Ruiz, good head up. And this is an absolute just cakewalk right now, isn't it? 26 shots, 27 shots on target, and we've scored, or goal I should say, we've scored 7 of them. Exactly half our shots have gone in. They have not registered a shot on goal as of yet. And what do we say to that? Just a passionate I'm happy, I think. An assertive I'm happy. Keep it up, lads. Let's try that. Let's see if we can get a second half performance out of them with a little bit of assertiveness. Again, I don't think I'm going to make too many subs because the guys on the bench, are basically earmarked to play the next one. The one position we are maybe a little bit short in is centre-back. We have sort of 4. Is that a penalty? It is a penalty. It looked like a penalty. We're going over to look at the footage. This is what they should do in real life. I believe that 100%. But I'm going to say in Football Manager, just talk in the earpiece. Let the truck make the decision for you. Look at the boys warming up. Excellent stuff. Do your star jumps, boys, please. It is a penalty. We all knew that already, though, didn't we? And it's going to be Ruiz for the hat-trick. Abel Ruiz sticks it away. He has a hat-trick. We have 8. And can we now go on with things in the second half? Sometimes it just takes that one to get you going again. And you wonder if maybe that penalty is going to kickstart us into this second half. 16 goals now this season for Abel Ruiz. This game could be blowing the Golden Boot race wide open. Another corner, another header. It's still bouncing around there. To be fair to the keeper, that was a decent save. And are we going to get caught on the break here? Juan Basaka's there. Makes him go across field. That's dangerous. Ruiz is there. Picks it up. The tackle just finds Juan Basaka. Can he get himself on the score sheet? He cuts back in. Good ball for McCalmont getting forward. Alfie McCalmont makes it 9. Barely 30 seconds, it seems, after that. Because the penalty is, 58 minutes. So barely a minute after the penalty, McCalmont has his second, his third of the season. And we are 1 goal away from double digits. And I haven't got double digits in a Football Manager game in years. In years and years and years. I tell you what, our goal difference is going to be okay. We're going to be setting all sorts of records in this tournament if this keeps up for goals scored. They're absolutely deflated. And you love to see it, to be honest. Here we go. Zagreb with a throw. Turpey's there. Turpey, we haven't seen him. It's there. It's it's a back heel from Abel Ruiz. And that is 10. 10-0 to Leeds United. Abel Ruiz has 4 of them. And this was a classy little finish. A back heel spinning flick. Jackie Chan would have been proud of this one. Look at this. Turpie, not really an assist for Turpie, but a stunning finish from Abel Ruiz. Bringing out the showpiece finishers, and that is wonderful, wonderful stuff. Alright, what else can we do here? You know what we might do is we might bring Vervaeke on to play down as the left wing back. Cross in, it's there. Oh, it's 11. Alina has a goal now, and it's 11-0 to Leeds United. Yeah, we might do that actually, because we have maybe one too many wingers. Looking at the squad now, I'm thinking maybe I have one too many wingers and one too few centre-backs. But the plan is to go to 2 centre-backs at some point. So, yeah, that we won't necessarily be playing with 3 centre-backs all the time, so we should have 2 and then 2 backups. But if we did want to play like this, now I see my squad, I think maybe we should have bought Kacharian, and maybe not bought one of the wingers. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We have other guys that can fill in at centre-back if we need to. Another highlight. Can we get 12? There's 10 minutes to go. Vervaeke with a throw. It's cleared away, kind of. Ball forward. Are we there to win that? We are with Suter. Back for McCalmont. Alina has it. Carlos Alina for Ruiz. Can he get 5 goals in a match? He chinks it in. It's Leao, and Leao has 20 for the season. Is that a hat-trick for him as well? I think it is. It is. Is that 12-0 or 13-0? I've lost count. I'm out of fingers at this point. I think it's 12. It says 12. It is 12. Excellent stuff. And, I mean, just let the good times flow. This episode could go on for days if we do a similar thing to Cruz Azul. It's a good finish, to be fair. Not quite sure what the defender's doing. Put your body in the way of it, mate. But there we go. We might even see Vervaeke do something useful here, the way this is going. Let's give him some more praise. Can we get to 13? It doesn't look like we can, but 12-0 Leeds United. What a way to start a tournament. That sends shockwaves around Europe, doesn't it? Excellent stuff from Leeds United. Humiliation for Al-Ahly. You do feel a little bit bad for him in a way, but in another way, not at all. Abel Ruiz, 4 goals, 2 assists, and 9.9. What are you going to do to get a 10 average rating, honestly? Superb in front of goal, mate. And let's go and have a quick look at the records. And not only have we have we beaten the record for biggest win and most goals in a game, we've actually have the most goals in the history of the tournament from one game. Poor old Al-Ahly, what are they doing? But Abel Ruiz has most goals in a match in the tournament. He's only one off Luis Suarez for most goals in the tournament history. So all sorts of records potentially that we could break now with that excellent start. Guys, wait right there. We'll be back for Cruz Azul and, of course, the vote for Player of the Year. Okay, welcome back. Now, before we get to the second game of the group stage, we do have to vote on your viewers' Player of the Year for this past season. Now, the way I've worked these nominations, there was 2 players who had 2 nominations each, and a bunch of players who had 1 nomination each. Now, rather than have sort of a 2-man runoff, I think you really need at least 3 nominees. So what I did is I took of the players nominated with 1 vote. I then took the 2 with the highest average match rating over the course of the season. So the nominees in alphabetical order. They are Erling Haaland, obviously, what a player he was. 26 goals this year, 7 assists, and an average match rating of 7.58. Second on the list is Rafael Leao. 20 goals this season. He has 4 assists, and, of course, a match average rating of 7.4. The third nomination is Ilax Mariba, midfield general. 11 goals, 9 assists, an average match rating of 7.54. And the final nominee is Under. And I tell you what, I think he just about gets my vote this year. 9 goals, 16 assists, and a 7.66 average rating, certainly for most improved anyway. So there's your nominations. There's a little eye at the top of the screen up there. Click on that, vote for your favourite, and we'll find out who wins the Viewers' Player of the Year at this season's End of Season Awards. But now we must, of course, go and beat Cruz Azul of Mexico and get ourselves into the knockout rounds. Now, I looked at the rules. Basically, it's goal difference that is the tiebreaker here. I did show it sort of at the end of last episode, but I think we're all a bit depressed. There's 3 team groups, which is a little bit disappointing, I think. I'd rather see 4 team groups, even if you had lesser. Anyway, let's not dwell on that. But yeah, so, and it's goal difference that gets you through. So I think our goal difference is okay. So unless we get absolutely smacked on the bottom here, we are going to find ourselves into the knockout rounds, but we just want at least a draw to make sure, don't we? We are 2-1 for 1-2 votes for this one. Obviously, it's a much closer game in the betting, so we're expecting a tougher game. Don't have the Mexican League loaded up, so we've got very limited we've got no information on them really, but it shouldn't matter. We should be able to beat them. This is the team that we're sending out. It's all changed apart from the goalkeeper. Williams, Aski continues in goal. It's Miranda, Pongranich, Dean and Mahoney as your back four. Phillips and Mariba go in midfield. It's Unda, Renia and Fati down the left. Erling Haaland goes up top. Let's go. So we are more or less lining up as expected. I wasn't sure if they'd play a DM or a number 10, but it makes sense, against us. You got to show us some respect, don't you? We'll pick up where they left off. I'm going to say, what do we want to say to this? All right, just pick off where you left off. I mean, we didn't do too much wrong. It's none of the same players apart from the goalkeeper, and you can make a decent argument he didn't actually play in that game. And here we go. The reason some players as well didn't play that first game, it would have made more sense, for example, to play Miranda in that first game and Zagre in this one, just because they're more natural in the opposite roles. Basically, international duty, they came back tired. Unda's there, Erling Haaland taps it away, and we're 1-0 up already. 27 goals now for him this season. A little bit of a bonus, I think, for Leao, because he got his goals from the first game into the Player of the Year stats, whereas Unda, Mariba, and Haaland obviously did not. But there we go. I think Unda maybe a little bit selfish there, but the goalkeeper's palmed it straight back out to Erling Haaland, and I mean, this could be anything. Again, are we going to go? Surely we're not going to go double figures again. I think the Mexicans are a little bit stronger. I mean, they're competitive in a South American, well, when they used to. I think they don't play. I don't think they play in the South American Libertadores anymore, but certainly when they did, they were competitive in that. So this is a step up for us, but it's sort of more of our first choice team in any case. There's a good ball out there for Miranda in space. Can he get across into the box? He pulls it back for Calvin Phillips. Back to Miranda. Miranda goes past one, pulls it back. Haaland's there, flicks it on to Unda, and Unda's finish was weak, to be honest, into the arms of the goalkeeper. And there's nothing more to see here. Let's tell them to concentrate. Already we can see this is going to be a tougher game. But yes, they haven't had any shots yet, but they're limiting our chances. And to be honest, as I said, they will certainly, based off the odds before game, that was sort of what was expected. Here we go now with a corner. If we can get a second goal, remember a draw will essentially get us through unless they go and do what we did to Al-Ahly, and off the crossbar, off the post, and the defender has it out for the goal for another corner. So yeah, unless they go and do that, which is unlikely, to be honest, a draw here will be enough for us. Mahoney with a throw. Can we get a second before the break? Renier has it back for Mahoney. Decent ball in. Haaland's there. Haaland, saved onto the crossbar. So unlucky. Keep the ball alive though. Renier back out for Mahoney in space. Cross in. It's back post. Fati can't get there. Calvin Phillips picks up the loose balls. It's good pressure. Back to Mariba. Mariba chips it in. It's back to the goalkeeper. Calm defending. And is that the highlight? Yes, it is. So there we go, a much quicker first half, probably good for episode length, to be honest. Otherwise we'd be here all day. I think we're going to say, I'm not happy with that, boys. Not happy with that. We need to be doing a little bit better, please and thank you. But we'll get back out there. The question is going to be, when we get to the knockout rounds, we'll find out at the end of this episode who it is we're going to be playing in the quarterfinals. Under, good ball in, Haaland's there, and it's an own goal. Lichnowsky, who was actually, I remember him, he's Chilean, I think. I remember seeing him play in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup years ago. Igor Lichnowsky. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's Chilean. But anyway, good finish. Absolutely buried the header, didn't he? That is a disaster. Where is he? He's Chilean, isn't he? Yeah. I remember 31 makes me feel so old. I remember him as an under, although we are quite a ways in the future. But anyway, 2-0 up. That should be job done. Is there anybody else you want to give game time to? Maybe Vavake. But, yeah, to be honest, Fati needs the game. He's not particularly playing well in any case. All right, so let's make a change then. Let's get Vavake on for Fati. And let's give Abel Ruiz, easy for you to say, a little bit of time here maybe. No, his match fitness is down. He is close, of course, to that goal-scoring record, so I feel a little bit of pressure now to play him, to be honest, to see if he can try and get there. We'll wait till after this highlight. Corner in, Haaland's there, and Haaland misses again. Concentrate, boys, come on. We've only scored 2, this is outrageous. One thing we have done is we've taken away Manchester City's goal-scoring record for the competition. Understands over a free kick. Good ball in, Max Dean's there. Max Dean finds the back of the net, the young academy prospect. Third goal of the season for him, a third goal of the game, and that should, well, it already is that, to be honest, because Goal difference, of course, being the tiebreaker. They not only need to overcome the 3 goals that we've put past them, they now need and then worry about the 12 that we put past Al-Ahly. So we are going to be in the quarterfinals. To be honest, we expected no less from today, did we? But it's always good to go out there, get the job done. We've certainly raced into the tournament. Now, sometimes in these summer tournaments, you've seen it before, you're better off starting slow and easing your way into it. We have not done that. We've definitely burst into this tournament like a raging bull, but we'll take what we get. Here we go, Vivake. It's a decent-looking pass out there to find Under. Can Under get across into the box? Under, he's going to go himself. His back post, it's there, and it's Vivake! He gets a goal. He's really struggled this season. Only 7th goal of the season for him. Under just keeps chalking up the assists. I think he had, 16 coming into this game, and he's got another 3. So that's 19 assists now, I think, for Under, unless I've miscounted one there. But he's just had an absolutely standout season. And I think if it wasn't for Liao and Haaland's goals, he would just be the standout player of the season for us. And he's the reason Bomel's not at the tournament, to be honest. He's just been amazing for us. But there we go, 2 late goals, makes it 4, and looks a little bit more comfortable than perhaps that was. But we'll say well done, lads. So there we go, Leeds meet expectations in dominant win. We qualify for the quarterfinals. William Askey has played 2 games, and I think he's made 1 save. It's 2 assists for Under, not 3, so I was getting ahead of myself there. Excellent stuff from you though, mate. And there we go, that is it for today. What we'll do is I'll just quickly sim through so we can see who we have in the quarterfinals for tomorrow's episode, and then we'll call it a day. And so it will be Barcelona in the quarterfinals of the World Club Cup. It was the quarterfinals for them in the Champions League as well, I think, wasn't it? So we beat them just more recently in the Champions League. We know we have a lot of their ex-players, so I'd like to think we can get the better of them in this one as well. So that is the quarterfinals. Wondering how the rest of the quarterfinal lineups are. There it is there. It is very much just the Champions League, which is, this is how it is in real life. It's going to be a little bit of a, yeah. I'd like to see some non-European teams in a World Club Cup. But anyway, that's how it is. And if we were to get past Barcelona, and it's just a one-off game this time, not 2 of course, it would be Manchester United or Paris Saint-Germain in the semi-finals. So that's all for next time, guys. Until then, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to go back and vote for your Player of the Year if you haven't already. Take care.